This is Renelle, and welcome to Quality Hang with Rod Brooks and friends. And here he is now, your host, my main man, Rod Brooks.
Thank you very much, Renelle. I am Rod Brooks, and welcome everyone to Quality Hang. Not a live Quality Hang tonight, but it's a Quality Hang I know you're going to enjoy. I had a chance to chop it up with one of my favorite people, the incredibly funny and intelligent Roy Wood Jr. You might remember Roy from his days as a longtime correspondent on The Daily Show. Well, he's still operating in that arena. He's got a show on CNN now entering its third year. It's called Have I Got News for You, with the incredibly funny Amber Ruffin and Michael Ian Black. Roy has been doing stand-up for a long time and been doing a great job at it. And his latest stand-up special is on Hulu, and it is called Lonely Flowers. You can stream that whenever you would like at your leisure. But here's the great thing about Roy. He's multifaceted. He is a Renaissance man, if you will. And Roy's got a book that's dropping on October 28th, and there's going to be a tour surrounding that book, and it's called The Man of Many Fathers. I suggest that you pick it up. Like I said, Roy is funny. Roy is insightful. Roy is a multifaceted entertainer, and he is a good dude too. And he is a massive sports fan. And we had a wide-ranging conversation about a lot of things, starting, of course, with his favorite teams, the first being the Chicago Cubs. But we also talked about historically black colleges and university. Roy is a proud alumnus of FAMU in Tallahassee, Florida. We talked about that. We talked about the great job that Roy did last year with the Rickwood game for Major League Baseball, highlighting the Negro Leagues and African-American representation in baseball. And Roy talking about his hometown of Birmingham, Alabama, that still has a very special place in his heart, even though Roy lives and operates out of New York City. And we finished our conversation with, what's happening right now in terms of freedom of speech and how Roy now operates with things being, let's just say, interesting here as far as politics and what people deem is appropriate, what you can and cannot say. I had an incredible time chopping it up with Roy, and I hope you enjoy the conversation as much as I had doing it with Roy. So no live Quality Hang tonight. We will be live on Monday, and we will do our regular shebang bang Monday, Wednesday, and Friday live at 8 p.m. right here on YouTube and on X. In the meantime, enjoy my conversation with the incredibly funny and the incredibly talented and the incredibly intelligent Roy Wood Jr. How you feeling?
Milwaukee is... You know what Milwaukee is? The Milwaukee Brewers. They are a team that... You ever seen a fine girl who didn't know she was fine and then finally started realizing she fine?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, no, they believe in themselves.
Yeah, that's a wrap.
Oh, we got to really play. So we got to, it's not that we got to get lucky. It's just we can't make mistakes. We lost by 6 runs in game 1. And we had 4 unearned runs. You take away the 6-run first inning, bro, it's a tie game.
Yeah.
So I don't think the Cubs have enough injuries have decimated our staff, but our bullpen was rock solid against San Diego. So I think we can keep that, but you just can't make no mistakes against the Brewers, bro. It's just it's tough. Now, if we get to the next round, you get Cade Horton back and you get a little bit of rest. I think they're in trouble, though. I would rather play the Phillies than the Dodgers.
I don't think you're going to get that opportunity, though.
Shut your mouth.
Hey, man, I'm an Astros fan. I can't do nothing but hate.
Hey, Nas, they got 3 rings in the last decade. Still whining. Still whining. The Mariners came in, swept y'all. Now you're mad because you lost 4 games.
Hey, man, listen, we let them have it. All right. But it was funny. I was telling a friend of mine that my grandmother, she passed away a few years ago, but my grandmother is kind of my old school connection to the Astros, because she would take me when I was a kid. We sit all the way at the top of the dome. And I'm like, man, I got to have a phone call with my grandmother after they won that first title in 2017. And I saw, the Astros golden years. And man, I remember the 86 series against the Mets. I remember the Braves smacking us around in the late 90s, early 2000s. Dog, I saw the greatest period of Astros baseball, and I never thought I would see that, man. You can't tell me nothing. I'm happy. I want everybody except Dodger fans and Yankee fans to feel what I felt.
Just be miserable.
Just be miserable. Hey, have you ever sung Take Me Out to the Ball Game?
Yeah, I've done it a couple times. I even did it during COVID when it was weird, where they make you do it over Zoom and then they just play it back in an empty stadium.
Oh God!
Like I have footage of that. They recorded me singing seventh inning stretch during COVID at Wrigley from my living room in New York.
Nothing odd about that at all.
Yeah, but that was a weird time. There's pumping in crowd noise. Yeah. Remember that? Trying to make it feel like a normal game. Like this isn't normal.
Yeah. They had us we had cutouts at where the Giants play, now Oracle Park, and it's like I had a cutout. The radio station I used to work at, we all had cutouts. So I had a cutout. All the other people had cutouts, and the big thrill was to see your cutout on TV, because we were desperate for it, quite frankly. So the big thrill was to see your cutout on the TV.
Oh, I made it on TV in the stands.
Look, Mom, I'm on TV. Man, your Dolphins can't get right for nothing, can they?
Listen here, Rod. I don't. Like, of all the sports fandom, because you got here's the three teams that I root for, and when I say root for, I mean I own paraphernalia that I wear in public from time to time. Mm-hmm. Cubs, Dolphins, Charlotte Hornets. So when we're talking like just sadness over the decades, I don't know if there's anybody would have. I mean, the Cubs winning helps a little bit in terms of the generational pain, kind of in the way that the Cavs, LeBron and them winning, the 3-1 down 1-3 Warriors year, that soothes you being a Browns fan for a little bit. The Dolphins, I don't know, bro. I don't know. And I hate it for Mike McDaniel, because there's an offense that's in place that our defense is just getting outsmarted. I don't know, man. It's you want to go. It's a long season. You're 1-4.
Nah.
You're 1-4,
and it's a bad looking 1-4. Unfortunately,
it's not like a Baltimore Ravens 2-3 or whatever the Ravens are, where it's like, if not for that possession, if not for that call, like the Ravens could easily be 3-1, 3-2. You know what I mean? Like the Buffalo game, the opening week, like and our only win is the Jets. So are you really 1-4? Or does that count as a tie? In a weird way, you know what I mean? Like I don't know.
Speaking of paraphernalia, and I know you're a sneakerhead, please tell me you've copped those FAMU 95 Air Maxes.
A buddy of mine just sent me the link today. Nice. He said that they're dropping 200 pairs in a couple of weeks, but they're on StockX for $700. I'm not paying $700.
No.
I'm just not.
What's your shoe limit? What's your sneaker limit?
$300. Yeah. If I'm paying. Now, I've paid thousands of dollars for a single pair of shoes before, but that's because I wore them on an hour special and the network was paying for my wardrobe. I had a pair of Jordans. At my second hour special, I had on a pair of LeBron 15 King cloaks.
I remember.
Joints.
Yeah.
Comedy Central paid for them shits. I wasn't finna pay no $2,000 for. But Comedy Central will. And like, so I'll sneak and do that. But nah, man, I'm not really a sneaker person in the least, man. And also, what I don't like, I need to be respectful in how I say this
Okay.
because I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm not completely sure if I like how designers are using Black college apparel to create an exclusivity or an exclusive type of short run of a theme, and then you jack up the price because you know Black college grads and people who pledge allegiance to that lifestyle are willing to pay it.
I hear what you're saying. I hear you.
Does that make sense?
It makes perfect sense.
It's like it's some sort of super bespoke thing. Like I remember at Martha's Vineyard, and this is a brother from Morehouse that's been hired by Ralph Lauren to run. I'm gonna Google the name real quick because I don't like just calling people the brother, the dude, you know what I mean?
Old boy that did that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't and you work too hard to be the Ralph Lauren.
I'll look him up.
Black man Morehouse. That's what I'm searching right now. There we go. James M. Jeter. He's the first Black creative director for men's polo at Ralph Lauren as of August 2024. So they have a very dope line of Black college stuff that Ralph Lauren and them wouldn't have made otherwise if Brother Jeter wasn't in the. Hey, I'm telling you what we need to do and have some style and have some appeal. And I understand there being a certain price point for that exclusivity and that type of, excellence in threading and clothing.
Right.
I understand that. But I feel like we're slowly approaching a point where there's just a little bit of a profitability. Where does it have to be that much? Like these Nikes, and this isn't about Ralph Lauren now. This is specifically about these Black college Nikes that are coming out. They're only doing like 4 or 5 schools because they figure we'll only do the schools where we know there's a ravenous enough appetite, or these 4 schools are the tester. And if them do good, then we do more of the schools. So if you're really about that life, I would love to just see more pairs, but then you only release 200. Like Nike did the same thing with the LeBrons, the FAMU LeBrons. A couple of years ago, I looked up on a pair because I had a plug in the athletic department at FAMU. But, I know sneaker culture is always going to be about scarcity of supply. So I understand that. But I think when it comes to Black college apparel as a whole and being told to have some pride, some of that shit be priced way wild. And I know it's solely because there's a Hampton logo on it.
Yep.
And it creates an air of elitism that I think is counterintuitive to what is the social spine of the Black college experience.
No, I get you.
That's what I'm trying to say. And I don't know how to reconcile the two things.
Well, first off, capitalism. Just when you really start to think about it and you really drill down on it, and you don't have to drill down that far, it gives you the creeps when it comes to, hey man, we're all being exploited. And it sure seems like Nike and as you mentioned, Ralph Lauren, they found a market that was untapped, and they found a market where, okay, we know consumerism kind of runs big there.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can exploit that.
Yeah, but exploit it, but also it is nice to have some higher end Black college shit to wear.
Sure.
I don't want to just wear the same NCAA apparel from the team shop, and then you'll have some like independent designers that'll make something really nice, right? Mm-hmm. This other thing, the other issue with Black college apparel, right? people will like send me stuff. They're like just a random design. Hey man, I'm a designer, brother, and I made the FAMU shirt and jacket. Will you wear my FAMU shirt? And I go, yeah, nigga, that's a nice jacket. I'm gonna wear your FAMU jacket. Then I take a picture in the shit, and then I got 20 alumni in the comments going, hey, that's not officially licensed apparel. The school doesn't get a pinch of that. That's just somebody throwing a FAMU logo on their thing to build a brand, and they're not really giving back to the school. They're a locust. And I'm like, damn, I got to double check. So even the stuff that is sometimes nice and stylistically off the beaten path, I got to double check and make sure that it's on the up and up. So at least the Ralph Lauren and the Nike shit is on the up and up.
Yeah.
But I got to fight bots to buy it, or I have to pay, triple or double what I thought. So it's just, I don't know what the solution is, but there's something about it that doesn't sit completely right with me of what the price point is of certain items solely because you put a Black college on the garment.
It shouldn't be that difficult to reconcile.
It could cost more.
Right. But it shouldn't be that difficult to have to reconcile with wanting to rep your school and wanting to look good in the process and feel good about the entire enterprise. It shouldn't be that difficult.
Yeah, that part of it I'm just not sure about, but we definitely need nicer stuff out there. We need Brother Jeter and his work, because some of the stuff I see at the FAMU bookstore be terrible. I'm like,
stop now.
This shit was made by no. A lot of the stuff that they sell at and that's not just I had a friend. So earlier this year we did Major League Baseball. Ken Griffey sent me around to a bunch of Black colleges to talk to the baseball kids for the Black Baseball All-Star. So I'm going to campus, all these Black colleges in the South back in the spring. And you tell them, yeah, I'm going down to TSU. I'm going to be in Houston. Could you go by the campus store and get me something to get this shirt? So I'm shopping for people at each school. Hey, man, get me a sweater. When you get to Grambling, see if they got the baby blue sweaters. They already got the light blue like the Southern. See if they got the Southern baby blue. And they ain't got nothing. And what they do have is skimpy. It's not a good, it's going to be faded and shrink in 2 washings. And so it's hard to always find stuff where you can rep the school in a unique and different way.
Yeah.
And the designers that have figured out a way to find things that are unique, it gets priced to a point that I think prevents a degree of school pride or being able to have enough people be the flagship for those garments.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I just need to go talk to the brother because what I always find is I be complaining about shit and then you get more knowledge on it. Like, what? You only get 42-cent profit per garment? It costs that much because it's Italian cotton?
Right.
I didn't know. So, I might not know what I'm talking about, but I just hate that if I want a dope pair of FAMU sneakers, and this goes all the way back to the LeBron 16, it was FAMU basketball, man. This was like 7-8 years ago. Yeah. You ain't gonna find them. And then you got to fight somebody for them when you do find them.
Yeah.
And then you got resellers who just don't care. And granted, resellers, that's just like ticket scalping. They don't care about nothing. One of the things I thought was really cool, man, was that I don't know if they still do it at FAMU now, but one year at FAMU, they released a pair of FAMU LeBrons, basketball LeBrons, and they let the students register to buy them first to ensure that students got to get them. I don't know if it was a lottery or whatever, but whoever it was set up where it's like, all right, the first 300 we selling to the kids currently enrolled, and then the rest of y'all can fall in line and fight each other on the sneakers app or whatever. Like that's part of how it should be. Maybe that's what I'm saying. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, there's always a right way to do it if people are interested in doing it the right way. But the problem is, again, it comes back to capitalism. People just aren't interested in doing it the right way because you can make more money doing it the wrong way.
Correct.
Use the
Correct.
simple term. Use simple. I'm glad you mentioned your tour, around historically Black colleges and universities and their baseball programs. I thought that was great, and just your love of baseball, man. And this is where I feel like I connect with you on several levels. Your radio background. Maybe we'll have time to get into that. But your love of baseball, man, it just hits me on a molecular level. Growing up playing baseball, I know you did too. There's just something about the sport, man, that it's not what it used to be in terms of Black people playing it, Black people watching it. But man, it is still a sport where, boy, when you connect with it and when you're around people who connect with it, especially Black folks, man, it's just a real cool thing.
Yeah, it was dope to do, man. Ken Griffey just wants to tell the story of the students that have chosen to stay dedicated to that sport. And it wasn't always just about Black Americans. It was about people at Black colleges, which helps to keep those programs relevant. There are a lot of Latinos that step out. A lot of Black college baseball is predominantly white and Latino, the teams. Because if you're Black and you're good at baseball, you're good at least two other sports that have more scholarships and better NIL deals. So why would you still choose this sport? And so I set out to kind of get kids to answer that question for me and talk to a lot of the old heads. The thing that's really interesting about baseball is that even after players and coaches retire, they return back to those same grounds to pour into the next generation of players. So that part of it I thought was always very dope to see and experience just on a, Coach Pierre down there at Grambling, like that was a pleasure to just be in his presence and sit and talk for a while, like that. I don't know. It was a really good time. And I think a lot of what Ken Griffey has done to champion baseball since he retired goes way understated.
Yeah.
But partly because he wants to, because Griffey's a very low-key dude. He's just quiet. Like, he just like, yeah, go over there and make sure them 50 players get seen at the All-Star game. We're going to make sure the scouts there, make sure they see him. And we're going to do a private workout before the actual game that's not even open to the public or the media. So the game is not the only time those kids are seen by the scouts. Nobody knows that. Shit, I don't even know if I was supposed to say that right now. But
we'll edit it out in post. We'll take care of it.
Quiet ambassador, bro. Very quiet ambassador to the game, man. It's a beautiful thing.
I hate that this is going to sound paternalistic, and it's unnecessary for me to do it this way. But I can't tell you how proud I was of you and the job you did last year with the Rick Wood game and leading up to that, man, showcasing Negro League baseball and the guys that, thank God, are still with us, and how much you love the game and how much obviously you love your hometown of Birmingham. I'm so glad I'm getting a chance to say this to you in a somewhat face-to-face scenario.
Man,
everything you did hit the right note, brother, and it was a beautiful thing to see you throw yourself into it and present it with the love I know that you had for the entire enterprise.
Yeah, MLB called me up earlier in that year, and they go, we're going to your hometown of Birmingham. We know you used to play high school ball there. Our plan is to bring every living Negro Leaguer to that game to pay tribute to them. At the time, Willie Mays was still alive. Willie was going to be there as well. He played his first professional game at Rick Wood. And they go, we want you to go down to Birmingham and just talk to some old Barons and old Negro Leaguers that live there. Surprisingly, didn't know this even growing up in Birmingham. It's like the way New Yorkers go to Florida to retire. Apparently, Birmingham was the Negro League retirement located. Like, that's where when you get done with the Negro Leagues, you go to Birmingham because there was a bunch of good factory jobs. That the Negro Leagues. The decline of the Negro Leagues, rather, I should say, in the 50s came on the backside of World War II, where at the time Birmingham in the South was a major factory town. And from a commerce standpoint, Birmingham was bigger than Atlanta. And it had not LA. Birmingham was bigger than Atlanta, Birmingham had more jobs than Atlanta. It had all of the growth. Birmingham had the sauce in the 50s. Now, once that civil rights shit started turning up a little bit, Birmingham wasn't the place to be. We got the dip. But a lot of people, it just, unbeknownst to me, MLB brought it to my attention that a lot of retired Negro leaguers called Birmingham their home. So you want to go there and talk to them. And most of these cats, my dad knew, my father covered them. So there was a little bit of shorthand, and being able to sit and talk with these cats on the strength of my pop's reputation. And they let the cameras roll, and then let Harold Reynolds come through. We kind of joked about a couple of things as well. And it was really transformative. And I hate to use a word like that, but it really was, to just sit and listen to the stories that they told, and just the things that you would never even consider a Black person having to go through. Being on a bus, traveling the South, playing a sport for $3 a day, and somewhere in the middle of that, you got to buy your own meals, assuming that the bus can stop in a town that will serve a truckload of Negroes. So they were, they told me a story about how they used to be happy if they had a biracial dude join the team, because they finally had somebody who could pass for white, who could go in and order the good food. Like, it's such a wild thing to think that that's a luxury. Like, oh, we got a light-skinned player.
And they laughed about it. Like, you can understand them being so happy that it happened, but being bitter that that's what they had to go through. But they found a way at the time, and still to laugh about it as messed up as it was.
I think, I can't remember which. It might have been Chico who told me this. It might have been Al Holt. Al Holtman was telling me a story about how they had a light-skinned teammate, and they sent him into a diner to order, like, go in there and order 30 hamburgers for the whole bus. And brother went in, they sent him in with the money he paid for the burgers, and it's hot inside the diner. And light-skinned dude took his hat off to wipe his brow, and that damn mixed afro popped up from underneath that damn.
That humidity.
Them white folks say, "Get your ass out this store, Negro." And they kept the money and never gave him the burgers.
Man.
So they didn't eat that day. And that's horrible. But also, to understand what MLB was honoring, and in a lot of ways, I guess, trying to apologize for, was that part of America ever even had to exist, man.
Yeah.
It really was a beautiful thing, and I'm grateful that they trusted me to even try to tell the story, and that the Negro Leaguers were kind enough to sit with me and rip off some scabs.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Talk about that.
You did an unbelievable job, and like I said, I'm proud of the job you did, because I know how important it is to get it right, and you got it right. And I felt like I was sitting there with you, man. It was just a wonderful thing. I know our time is short, and we're going to roll through.
No, you're good.
Things. I mentioned I connect with you from a radio standpoint. I grew up in radio. Radio is how I was eventually able to go and see the world and do all the stuff that I dreamed about as a kid. I remember hearing, when I was back in Houston, those prank phone calls and wondering, who is this? He's crazy.
It's a little psychotic.
I love your radio background, man. And I get the sense that carries you forward, to this day and everything that you do.
I think the main thing I learned in radio was the sense of community amongst Black people.
Beautiful.
I worked for a station that was the local station. Birmingham is very underrated in how competitive it is of a radio market. I've been out of radio since 2012, since 2015. So I cannot speak wholly to where it is now nationally. But at the time, Birmingham was one of, I think, only about 7 cities that had 4 Black morning shows. That degree of competitiveness and saturation is wild. It's unheard of. We had, at the time, it was our local morning show, the Buckwild Morning Show. It's a different Buckwild, not starring Buckwild. We had the Buckwild Morning Show. We had Tom Joyner. Our market had Steve Harvey. And then it would usually be Doug Banks. And if it wasn't Doug Banks, it would be Russ Parr. And if it wasn't Russ Parr, it'd be Tony Scott. And if it wasn't Tony Scott, then later it's Ricky Smiley. And I think D.L. Hughley had a morning show, or Monique. Like there was always 4 different shows jockeying, but we were the only local show. And my station also had a tradition, and I understand more now why. They hired pretty much only local DJs, or somebody from the station had to have a tie to the city. Ricky Smiley is Birmingham. When he left, I slid in. I am Birmingham. There was Sid Delaney as well. There was so many other. So we went out constantly in the community. We did community events and trick or treat at the church and Toys for Tots and give away the house. And, you know, if there was a tornado that happened, I remember there was an F5 that came through Tuscaloosa and Birmingham, killed 50 people in March, I think 2010 or 2011 maybe. And of the 50 dead, about 20 were in Birmingham on the west side. And our station mobilized, like, let's just say the tornado hit that night at 8 p.m. By 6 a.m., we were on location.
Wow.
As close as we could, as the police would allow us to be.
Sure.
And just allowing people to come on and tell their stories. I don't think we played any music each hour. We might have played 2 songs an hour where we normally play 8. And while we were there, and this is like one of the things, like one of the proudest I've been of Birmingham, was that we hadn't even started soliciting for donations yet because we didn't know what people needed. And listeners were just driving by and donating stuff. And we had already kind of had a rhythm of that. Like, like every other year, there would be a terrible house fire or an apartment fire that would like take out like 20 units or something like that, you know, when they all connected, right?
Yeah.
We would always, like, that was SOP. If there was a big fire, we're there, and you know what to bring, you know what folks need. So we always did that. But with the tornado, it was just, the Red Cross isn't even here yet, man. And we're out here, and just random strangers was coming up and bringing stuff, and people was cooking and bringing meals and blankets, and it was a beautiful thing of just how connected the city of Birmingham is. You know, we can joke about it now, and I'm not bringing this up to bring any shame upon this girl again, because it's over with.
I know. Yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
It's the Carly Russell kidnapping thing, where the black girl says she saw a baby on the freeway, but she was really, whatever it was, she lied about being kidnapped or the baby or some shit. And the whole city came together to walk through the forest to look for her. And that's what Birmingham is.
Yeah.
That's what that city is, man. And so, you know, that I learned that from radio. And so once you learn that about Black culture, then you understand that that same principle applies at a national level.
Everywhere. Yeah.
Then at a global level.
Yep.
And, you know, that's probably just in terms of just understanding people, which then informs my comedy and my ability of what I want to joke about. Those things all played a huge role for me.
Yeah. Yeah, we were lucky that we got into radio before it really changed. I mean, obviously, back when, mid 90s when Clear Channel took over and then they could own multiple radio stations. That was the line. That's when everything started to change. But it still took about 20 years unfortunately, for corporations to suck all of the local life out of radio. And the fact that we don't have those local touchstones in terms of radio anymore is a damn shame, because that, to me, radio, we are clearly a visual society, but radio it's personal. You have to listen to someone on the radio, and that takes effort. There's nothing passive about
connection.
Yeah. There's nothing passive
Yes.
about listening to someone on the radio. You have to want to listen to that person for whatever reason. And because we've taken out the local flavor, because we've taken out the community and just made it sort of this stale, homogenous thing from coast to coast, border to border, it just sucked all the life and soul out of radio. And we've done, without getting too high-minded, I think we've done this country a great disservice by getting rid of that local flavor.
Of course. And then it trickled down and it ruined music because you don't have local DJs championing local artists with a unique sound. So the music that we get is more homogenized and universal because playlists are dictated at a national level instead of a local level. So it doesn't leave a lot of time on the clock for there to be local artists. Mm-hmm. Even the radio DJs that are allowed to cut and mix, I'm mixing live at 5 o'clock, the drive time mix. They told that motherfucker, here are the 40 songs, pick 20
mm-hmm.
and make your mix.
Yep.
So even being able to grow Black culture at a local level, which is where culture starts, the uniqueness starts at a local level. There's no stage for that. There's no audience for that. There's no reward in putting on the local artists when the record label is demanding that you put XYZ on.
Yep.
Just doesn't work like that. And that's assuming that the radio DJ even live there too now, because now the DJ is pre-recording that. What's going on, St. Louis? Y'all hype for the weekend, St. Louis? That nigga in Jacksonville.
What is it? Voice tracks? Is that what it is?
Yeah, voice tracks.
Yeah, voice tracks. Yeah, that ruined it too.
Yeah, it took something away. But hey, the corporation saved money.
Again, we're back to capitalism. It's funny how it always comes back to capitalism.
Yes,
so we're in a time where if you say something, people might get mad. And someone who talks for a living, someone who does a show for a living, have I got news for you on CNN? How are you, my man, navigating these interesting times when it comes to being able to say what you want to say, yet understanding that people will find a way to misconstrue what you're saying to highlight their own nefarious enterprises?
I think all you can do is hope and pray that you have a boss that understands your intention. I think if you're a comedian and you work for a corporation, you have freedom of speech, but not freedom from venue or freedom from outrage or freedom from backlash. If what you say is bad for bottom line, you're going to be in the crosshairs. So you keep saying what you want to say, but what I can't control is being misunderstood. And it's one of the hardest things I've had to accept and take in life, is that there are going to be people who want to twist what you say solely for political gain as well. So you just got to sit down and accept that, more than anything else. I don't want to move in fear and be nervous about telling a joke. Oh, I better not tell a joke. Fuck that. I'm sorry for cussing. Hey, I'm gonna tell the joke. And I think you have to be a little bit more detailed as best you can as a comic if you want to try and protect yourself. But ultimately, at the end of the day, if they're going to twist it, they're going to twist it. Jimmy Kimmel is the biggest example of it, because everything that everybody was upset about was a observation on the way to a joke that was about somebody else, something else. So I think that that's the thing that we have to be careful about. How do you say in your country? You got to be careful about changing your tune to appease a mob that does not have any degree of consistency
or
that
morals.
they care about. Correct. That too. Yeah.
They can go anywhere. What
Yeah.
they will go wherever they need to go to serve the purpose they want served. If they want outrage, if they want sympathy, whatever they want, because it's such a nebulous negative form. It's like the slime under the streets in Ghostbusters too. It thrives on negativity and it goes wherever it wants.
Oh, that's a great analogy. That's a deep cut too. That's good.
Now we're gonna go listen on our own, Bobby Brown. Man, thank you so much for this. I'm gonna try to come through and see you when because your book tour is in December. I think you come through San Francisco.
Yes, sir. I'll be there.
So
I'll be there.
I'm definitely going to try to come through and see you, man, and dap you up and tell you thank you for this. I know your time is valuable. I really do appreciate it, man. I really
absolutely, man. I appreciate you rocking with me, man.
All right, brother. You take care now.
Yes, sir. See you now.
Thank you, sir.
Yep.